for a long time, I wanted to do this podcast, but there was way too many mental constraints. Is anybody actually going to watch it? Is it going to be difficult to get my friends and get different people to come on? How would I even do it? Like, there's so many like mental constraints to achieving this goal that I just kept pushing it off. Like, oh, I don't deserve a podcast. I don't deserve to be doing, like you said, like who gets to determine what you deserve? And it's like, is it necessarily what you deserve or what you're making of life? So it's like, if let's take this for example, like, oh, I don't deserve a podcast. Well, if you look at it that way, I mean, you could justify for or against that claim with like many different examples, but you would a different way to say it is, I'm going to create a podcast. So that way it has less to do with deserving and more of how much work you're going to put into it. Because then once you like make the podcast become successful, then you can say, then that question of deserving doesn't really matter because it's something you created. That like takes away some of the societal pressures. And if that's like irrelevant, let me know. But
so like changing keywords into saying that you will instead of like, I could or I might or things like that. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, because it's all about how you frame a message. And that's communications 101. How you encode and decode messages is like extremely important. And like the channels and the ways you do it are extremely important. So if you're encoding messages to yourself saying, I can't do this, I don't deserve this, then you start creating some kind of mental, idea of what you can and cannot do when you really can do anything you like. I know this is really corny, but you can like actually do anything you set your mind to if you like actually dedicate yourself to it. So yeah, a lot of the times it's these key words, these key phrases that you have to like change that phrasing for. And it's really hard to do because like society is always, and I know I keep mentioning this, but like society just like pressures you into this idea. And it's like, how do you prosper and grow as yourself in navigating through this world? And like creating an identity for yourself so you can, with that identity, define what success means to you, not what society tells you, and like then define a pathway to it, define goals along the way, define how you're going to measure it, and know that things aren't going to go according to plan because that's how life is.
And I was about to ask you a question, but I know if I do, it's gonna be like a 3-hour conversation, so I'll just ask this one.
No, go ahead.
I'll ask this one instead. Hold on. Well, I'll mention this instead.
Okay.
Let's see. The most valuable gift you have to offer is yourself. What do you think about that statement right there?